Oke, selamat pagi. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Kembali lagi kita di materi kuliah selanjutnya di dasar-dasar industri 4.0. Nah, pertemuan kali ini setelah UTS kita akan bahas tentang simulasi. Jadi ada 4 chapter atau 4 bab yang akan kita eh, jelaskan pada kesempatan ini, yaitu ada pengertian simulasi, jenis simulasi, simulasi dalam industri 4.0, dan digital twin. Nanti kita akan bahas apa itu digital twin. Pertama, kita harus mengetahui apa yang dimaksud dengan pengertian simulasi, ya. Jadi simulasi ini adalah suatu sekumpulan metode dan aplikasi yang digunakan untuk meniru perilaku dari suatu sistem yang nyata, ya, suatu sistem yang real. Contohnya ada dua, yaitu simulasi sederhana dan simulasi kompleks. Simulasi sederhana ini biasanya adalah suatu peragaan, ya, atau simulasi mitigasi bencana. Ya, mitigasi ini adalah apabila terjadi bencana apa penanggulangannya, ya, atau juga penerapan dari ilmu-ilmu pengetahuan fisika maupun konvensional. Ya, jadi ini simulasi sederhana yang dia menyebabkan kondisi real. Misal kalau lihat di gambar ini, kalau misalnya terjadi kebakaran, ya, atau mungkin bagaimana menghadapi terjadi gempa bumi, ya, ataupun juga misalnya bagaimana menghadapi misalnya kalau terjadi biasanya K3, ya, ini kecelakaan kerja. Itu adalah simulasi sederhana. Nah, yang di sebelah kanan ini adalah simulasi kompleks, ya. Jadi ini menggunakan teknologi canggih, ya. Contohnya adalah smartphone, ya, ini yang sering kita gunakan, Google Maps, ya, itu adalah simulasi kompleks. Jadi kita bisa menentukan tujuan atau arah dari tempat yang akan kita datangi atau tempat yang kita tuju, ya, dan menggunakan simulasi. Ini adalah simulasi kompleks. Atau menggunakan ini pas studio eh, virtual reality, ya, gitu ya. Jadi kita misalnya di dalam suatu ruangan, kita mengendari suatu mobil, ya. Nah, nanti bisa kita melihat bagaimana merasakan berada di mobil tersebut, padahal dengan menggunakan metode virtual. Itu adalah simulasi kompleks. Ini adalah implementasi teknologi simulasi 3D di SMK SMPTI Padang, ya. Jadi di salah satu sekolah di Padang, di SMK Padang, mereka dalam penggunaan laboratoriumnya sudah menggunakan simulasi 3D. Jadi seolah-olah si siswa sudah bisa merasakan di lab, padahal dia posisinya ada di rumah, dia menggunakan suatu simulasi studio. Kemudian ini juga, ya, simulasi kompleks, ya, menggunakan alat rekayasa. Ini bisa menggunakan 3D scanner atau AutoCAD industri, atau menggunakan sekarang yang pernah kita dengar itu adalah 3D printing. Ya, itu adalah alat rekayasa untuk simulasi yang kompleks yang real dengan kondisi sesungguhnya. Jadi apa itu tujuan dari simulasi? Ya, ada 7, ya. Yang pertama adalah desain dan analisis dari suatu sistem manufaktur seperti pabrik otomotif, garmen, tekstil, kimia, dan lain-lain. Ya. Jadi bagaimana menggambarkan kondisi real di dalam suatu perusahaan tersebut. Yang kedua adalah desain dan analisis dari suatu sistem transportasi seperti bandara, pelabuhan, ya, kereta ini biasanya untuk transportasi. Jadi kita merasakan bagaimana kondisi real di dalam transportasi tersebut. Evaluasi desain, ya, call center, restoran, cepat saji, ya, ini adalah untuk desain dari bagaimana bentuk suatu bangunan, ya, sehingga bisa kondisi real seperti sebenarnya. Rekayasa ulang, ya, rekayasa engineering, ya, proses bisnis perusahaan. Jadi bagaimana merekayasa ulang apa yang terjadi, apa yang biasanya ini adalah untuk mengidentifikasi aktivitas yang waste atau pemborosan, ya. Kemudian analisa dari rantai pasokan, penentuan kebijakan, ya, ini dari sistem persediaan, dan juga termasuk analisis operasi pertambangan. Nah, kemudian juga ada kelebihan dan kekurangannya dalam simulasi, ya. Kalau kelebihannya tentu, ya, ini bisa memecahkan masalah yang rumit. Contoh tadi GPS, ya, itu kita gunakan hampir setiap hari apabila kita ingin ke lokasi tujuan, ya, dengan menggunakan GPS. Jadi yang tadinya kita tidak tahu jalan, ya, kita bisa tahu arah tersebut, ya. Kemudian forecasting, ya, meramalkan kesulitan, visualisasi efek jangka panjang, modifikasi, ya, hemat waktu dan biaya, tidak mengganggu sistem dunia nyata, dengan digunakan tujuan pelatihan. Nah, biasanya simulasi ini banyak digunakan untuk program-program pelatihan, ya seperti tadi misalnya pelatihan mengendarai mobil, ya, pelatihan di laboratorium, itu cocok untuk menggunakan simulasi. Namun, di dalam kelebihannya juga ada kekurangan simulasi, ya. Nah, tidak memberikan hasil yang optimal. Ya, sama halnya seperti kita GPS kan, kadang-kadang juga arah yang ditunjukkan oleh GPS tersebut salah gitu ya. Kadang kita misalnya berkendara mobil ternyata eh, lokasinya atau misalnya tujuannya itu malah kita dimasukkan ke gang-gang atau gang kecil ya, pernah juga terjadi seperti itu. Kuantifikasi variabel tidak optimal, ya variabelnya tidak optimal dan solusi yang diberikan terbatas. Ya, jadi berdasarkan dari hanya simulasi saja, ya tidak melihat dari kondisi real di lokasinya tersebut. Jenis-jenis simulasi, ya ada simulasi statis dan dinamis. Ya, pada simulasi statis, perubahan variabel pada sistem dipengaruhi oleh waktu. Ya, ini adalah simulasi gempa, ya. Kemudian simulasi dinamis, ya ini dipengaruhi oleh waktu, misalnya simulasi gerakan roket, simulasi kedatangan mobil ke jalan tol. Kemudian simulasi deterministik dan stokastik, ya. Kemudian nilainya ini konstan, ya seperti itu. Kemudian ada simulasi kontinu dan diskrit, ya. Jadi ini status variabelnya berubah secara kontinu terhadap waktu, ya. Kemudian simulasi diskrit, status dari tiap variabel berubah pada titik tertentu, ya perubahan data pada saat pandemi, yaitu adalah simulasi diskrit, ya. Sudah diperkirakan bahwa akhir tahun akan terjadi endemi, ya, akan berakhir pandemi, tapi ternyata masih ada aja beberapa kasus yang positif, ya. Nah, itu adalah simulasi diskrit. Ini adalah gambar-gambarnya, ya, simulasi statis dan dinamis, ya, simulasi deterministik dan stokastik tadi, simulasi kontinu dan diskrit, ya, dan juga simulasi pandemi COVID termasuk simulasi yang diskrit. Kemudian simulasi dalam industri 4.0, ya. Jadi ada 9 teknologi kunci yang dapat memperkembangkan revolusi industri keempat, ya. Ini Anda harus paham, ya, harus tahu. Kalau bisa dihafal, ya, ada 9, yaitu pertama Big Data Analytics, Autonomous Robot, Horizontal and Vertical Integration, Industrial Internet of Things, Cyber Security, The Cloud, Additive Manufacturing, AR and VR, dan juga yang ini adalah simulasi. Oke, ini adalah contohnya dalam simulasi.
Hey everyone, today we're going to talk about the mind-blowing technology which is revolutionizing the present and the future. That is none other than immersive technologies. Immersive technologies comprising of virtual reality, augmented reality and mixed reality are amongst the fastest growing and fascinating technologies today. So what is immersive technology? To put it in a nutshell, immersive technologies create or extend reality, and this is done by immersing the user in a digital environment having applications in different domains. This technology is gaining momentum with every passing day and hour, transforming and helping us reimagine the future. Let's start with virtual reality. Virtual reality uses VR headsets to create a simulated environment and helps an individual to immerse into it to experience an entirely different reality. However, the historical journey of virtual reality began back in the 1800s. This marvelous idea has been evolving from the time practical photography came into existence. Morton Heilig invented the first VR device called Sensorama in 1957. His multimedia device, the Sensorama, is considered one of the earliest VR systems. However, the term virtual reality was coined later by Jaron Lanier in 1987 during his intense research on this evolving technology. A lot of companies are investing billions of dollars in the VR sector. Some of the best VR products are Oculus Quest, Nintendo Labo VR Kit, Sony PlayStation VR, Lenovo Mirage, and many more. These gadgets enable an individual to immerse in a digital environment to experience a world which is different from reality. You might think VR is all about gaming, isn't it? But the potential of VR doesn't stop there. It is revolutionizing many other industries like education, military, medicine, and sports, to name a few. Here are some examples of VR in real life. Class VR is an innovative new concept in the educational industry which uses VR tech to raise the engagement and knowledge retention for students of all ages. Class VR uses VR headsets with a user-friendly interface for both students and teachers, gesture controls, and embedded educational resources. Facebook is coming up with a new idea called Facebook Horizon, which is an ever-expanding VR community where you can explore, play, and create. It helps you to defy physics and reality and experience the impossible. And we also have VR 360, which is a 360-degree audiovisual simulation. It allows the user to look around in any direction, just like how they look and observe things in real life. You can experience anything from standing on top of a pyramid to enjoying Tomorrowland sitting at home. Isn't that wonderful? We can't end the topic if we didn't highlight the role of VR in gaming. A great take on this is the movie Ready Player One by Steven Spielberg. The film is set in the year 2045 when the world is on the brink of chaos and collapse. But humans have found salvation in a virtual reality universe where they could make the impossible possible. Let's hear what Steven himself feels about the VR universe.
World that we would someday be able to escape into. A world that, we leave our world, but we don't leave our world. We don't have to walk 5 feet to leave our world. We just have to put something over our eyes, and we are suddenly thrust into a wonderful world of someone's imagination.
Next up is AR. Augmented reality is a technology that projects computer-generated augmentations on top of reality, helping us perform tasks better and efficiently. AR, which falls in between reality and virtual reality, is a method used to render real-world data and present it intuitively so that virtual elements resemble the present reality to an extent. The revolution doesn't stop here. Have you ever tried to catch Pokemon using Pokemon Go or fit any furniture using the IKEA app? These are made possible by the technology called augmented reality. Augmented reality has seen raging in popularity over the past few years, and the revolution is not stopping anytime soon. AR is giving brands the power to provide their customers with unique experiences that can prove to be the difference between purchase and dropout. Let's have a quick look at the history of AR. So you might think AR is a new technology. Well, on the contrary, it has been around for numerous decades. Ivan Sutherland developed the first AR gadget called Sword of Damocles during 1968. This system used computer graphics to show users simple wireframe drawings. From Pokemon Go to training future surgeons, augmented reality is starting to infiltrate many industries of our society today. But what exactly is augmented reality? Looking into the most popular applications of AR, first up we have location-based AR apps like Google Maps, which place digital directions on top of the real world and shows you where to walk. Next, we have Google Lens. It is another application that enhances the search experience. With Google Lens, you don't have to type your query anymore. Just open the app and aim it at what you want to learn about. Google Lens will identify the object and give you all the essential details about it. Then we have the Snapchat filters. These are one of the best examples of AR, and as you know, Snapchat has become a trend among the younger generations. Did you know that Mysterio couldn't have fooled Spider-Man without his AR technology?
See, that wasn't so hard.
But thanks to his spider sense, Spidey dodged all the drones, destroyed them all, and gave us a good ending. Even Facebook has plans to build AR glasses to create 3D maps of the world. If you are still skeptical about AR, check out what Mark Zuckerberg has to speak about AR.
So that's why I'm so excited about augmented reality, because it's going to make it so that we can create all kinds of things that until today have only been possible in the digital world, and we're going to be able to interact with them and explore them together.
Next in this line of immersive technologies is MR. If virtual reality and augmented reality impressed you, get ready for the best of both worlds, that is mixed reality MR. Mixed reality is all about blending the real world with virtual reality. Unlike augmented reality, users can interact with virtual objects in mixed reality. What was nearly impossible a few years ago and was limited to our imagination, like interacting with your favorite Marvel superhero, is now possible because of MR technology. Does it seem similar to AR? Well, you can call it AR 2.0. MR is still in its early stage, and it will take a while for it to reach the consumers. However, the investment in MR and AR is expected to reach $4 billion by this year, and the future of MR is not so distant. MR's applications are vast, and its main uses are in the field of education, training, sports, healthcare, space missions, and even construction. Though many use cases are in the testing phase, this idea isn't far-fetched by any means. The best example of MR is the Microsoft HoloLens, which is just a pair of MR smart glasses. It allows you to experience 3D holograms that melt seamlessly into the real environment. You can interact with those augmentations using your bare hands and get all the information you need. Let's now hear what Alex Kipman, the designer behind the HoloLens, thinks about mixed reality.
In the real world. We're finding great success in mixed reality, from education to healthcare to manufacturing, which is what you see a lot of the cases happening here.
Here's a quick recap of what we know so far. So, augmented reality adds digital elements to a live environment, whereas virtual reality implies a complete immersive experience that shuts out the physical world. On the other hand, a mixed reality experience combines elements of both AR and VR, where you can interact with both the real world and the digital elements. Immersive technologies are quickly becoming a part of our daily lives, and they are here to stay, not only enhancing human experiences, but helping brands market their products effectively and successfully to attract their target audiences. From gaming to buying furniture, immersive technologies are taking the world by storm. So what do you think is next? Comment your ideas in the comment section below and stay tuned for more from Simply Learn. Hey everyone.
Oke, sekarang kita masuk ke digital twin ya. Namanya juga twin itu kembar ya. Ini, jadi digital kembar istilahnya kalau di dalam bahasa Indonesianya ya, kurang menarik ya. Makanya kita sebut digital twin aja ya. Jadi apa itu dimaksud dengan digital twin? Digital twin adalah suatu model virtual yang intinya dapat membantu manusia ya untuk mengumpulkan informasi berbasis data dan prediksi. Nah, ini biasanya untuk forecasting ya, yang akurat guna melakukan pengambilan keputusan yang berpengaruh pada produktivitas perusahaan ya. Jadi akan berpengaruh kepada produktivitas di perusahaan tersebut. Tujuan dari digital twin yaitu adalah untuk menciptakan kembaran mesin dalam bentuk digital untuk diambil datanya dengan lebih detail. Jadi contohnya seperti ini, misalnya dalam suatu perusahaan atau di industri dia sudah ada mesinnya seperti ini ya. Nah, kemudian kita ambil gambarnya dan seolah-olah kita masukkan ke dalam suatu digital ya, dan kita bisa mengoperasikannya dengan adanya gambar ini ya. Nah, ini menggunakan teknologi dashboard ya. Gitu. Jadi ini contohnya dari digital twin ya, kita bisa tonton di video ini.
NVIDIA is a company committed to bringing the new digital era to complex industrial operations such as oil and gas, petrochemicals, FPSOs, mining, and pulp and paper plants. At those plants, operators face challenges managing the integrity of thousands of components within several disciplines simultaneously. They need to accomplish this while taking operational safety and minimal downtime into account. Thus, the operation has to allocate a large share of resources for asset integrity management to achieve this. Amidst this context, imagine being able to simulate, optimize, predict, and plan actions on virtual assets, looking to their past, present, and into their future to optimize the management of physical asset integrity. This dream is what has driven NVIDIA's asset integrity experts to develop a smart solution. After exploring multiple Industry 4.0 technologies, we developed VIDIA software by combining digital twin and artificial intelligence. This software is optimizing operation processes, providing a complete operational overview, real data management, and reducing time and costs to leading companies in the industry, turning the smart industry dream into a reality. The system is equipped with predictive models, algorithms, and tools to process the data, providing the operator with the necessary outputs for asset maintenance and successful management of each operating sector. Among many other tools, Vidya Digital Twin is capable of overlaying one or more 3D data sources, such as point clouds, photogrammetry, and lifecycle engineering models, on the same platform, allowing information exchange between them. This allows you to observe inspections using photogrammetry in real time, run defect classifiers, connect images to databases, and other innovative possibilities to monitor asset integrity. The system also includes a plug-and-play structure of AI microservices, such as predictive modeling, forecasting, and simulation, capable of bringing past and future data to predetermined integrity or management indicators. In addition to these, the Vidya system comes equipped with integrated mobile applications, BI dashboards, on- and offline cloud servers, vFiles document management system, alert and recommendation system, planners, workflows, and customizable attributes. This results in creating operational awareness that is focused on asset integrity through the various outputs that the system can deliver to the operator. Our product can receive data sensors, 3D engineering systems, and integrated mobile applications. Using APIs and middleware, this system can also be integrated with other systems that run on the client, such as SAP and IBM, among many others, to centralize your operations. All of those features allow our tool to be employed in various use cases in a multidisciplinary approach, such as fabric maintenance, mechanical electrical maintenance, hull integrity, structural integrity management, operational reliability, and many others in the industrial O&M phase. Furthermore, we are trusted by some of the leading companies in the industry. Check out how Vidya software is being used in multiple projects. In fabric maintenance, we had promising results by centralizing all the corrosion and coating degradation information in the digital twin. Thus, we were able to optimize coating inspection and maintenance tasks, which brought a 59% reduction in man-hours, uncertainties reduction, and team productivity control, among others. In a use case applied to a BOP, a subsea piece of equipment, the Vidya system was integrated with 4 different integrity management and maintenance systems of a large-scale operator. The product brings real-time data about incidents, alerts, and maintenance recommendations in addition to reviewing engineering documents, linking everything to the digital twin equipment model. The result is reducing by up to 30% the time needed to obtain technical asset information, reducing downtime while increasing the reliability of maintenance actions. To broaden asset integrity management solutions even more, Vidya also develops corrosion monitoring hardware. One of our best products, the IoT Data Logger, can even be integrated with the digital twin. In that way, Vidya combines experience with high-end technology, leading industries towards a new digital era. Vidya, smart technologies for smart industries. Vidya is a
Oke, sampai di sini materi di pertemuan kita di materi 8. Silakan Anda pelajari kembali dan kerjakan kuis dan tugasnya. Sampai ketemu di kesempatan lainnya. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.